friends, I'm back. I'm excited. I hope you are too. I mean, I can hardly wait. I don't know, just because we're just doing something a little different. It's not over the top or anything, but I don't know. It's just fun for us to get together, and then if I can bring something a little different just for us to have a little fun, then so be it. Well, you know that we're working on, this is my my knit-along sweater for the first one for 2021. This is this little bottom-up sweater. I hadn't decided whether it's going to be a full sleeve sweater or a pretty kind of a Lands' End type vest type sweater. But anyway, you can see that we've already gotten started. We're doing a beautiful little diamond motif from Wendy Bernard's Stitch Dictionary. There's the stitch, and then I'm just gonna walk you through step by step, and just explain things as I go. I just think it's great that I'm able to share something with you, and that you find it interesting too, and that you want to make it. So tonight, the topic is, it's all about the chart. It's all about the chart. Now, everybody who's been with me, I tell you all the time, now I'm not a professional knitter, or, I'm not a knitting instructor or anything, but I've just, over the years, just tried to grow and learn more and learn where I can, and all I'm doing is just sharing what little bit I know with you. And so I thought I'd delve a little bit into knitting from charts, just because it's a lot faster. It's a lot of fun, but you'll see after you've done it a while, you'll probably say, "Oh, Jay, it's so much faster." So tonight is all about the chart. But I just wanted to let you know, okay, I'm working on my sweater, and when I left, you were right down here finishing up this bottom edge here, your ribbing section. And then we had knit a few stitches here of stockinette, knit on the front, purl on the back, and now you should be ready for us to start working the chart. Also, when I left you with a small, I tried to really get you to go ahead and work the small sample that I'm going to be working step or row by row, because if you do have a mistake like I had, and I found it, and I'll show it to you when we get to that point. It was just a yarn over. All right, but if you make a mistake on the small sample, it's a lot easier to correct and to find, and not it's not going to give you a headache. But if it's something on the sweater, then you're going to have to pull back a lot of stitches. Since this is bottom up, there's a lot of stitches here. And you certainly don't want to have to start pulling out, back and forth. So that's why I suggest, and I was just trying to impress upon you, since we are working all the sweaters I'm going to present from scratch, row by row, stitch by stitch, it's a lot easier just to take time and just kind of, maybe practice a little bit and then go to the sweater. I'm just trying to help you to work smarter, not harder. Does that make sense? All right, let me get it set up before we actually start knitting. We're going to start knitting right away, but we need to look at the chart first and just talk about a few of the things that I found on Wendy Bernard's chart. All right, back in just a minute. All right, I'm back because tonight, as I said, it's all about the chart. Just a quick reminder, I am working out of one of the Stitch Dictionaries by Wendy Bernard. And they're, like I said, I didn't even know I had them in my stash. And one day I found that I had two of these books. So, and it's just perfect. They are perfect for beginners. They're perfect for returning knitters. They're perfect for seasoned knitters like me and those that are more advanced. It's just a lot of fun. The stitches are pretty public domain stitches. They're just stitches you find in other stitch books. But I just love the information, the way she, shares the stitch, and then plus she's done all the work to knit flat, knit in the round, knit top down, knit bottom up. She has just made it a lot easier to just start knitting. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to try to get it all in so that it's right here. This is number 3. This is number 3, step 3 of Jay's knit along sweater style number 1. And tonight the topic is the chart, front and center. So let's just talk real quick about the chart and let's start knitting. All right, out of her book, the book I just shared with you, I found this beautiful diamond panel. And this is, it's just one nice panel. There's no repeats, which I didn't want to do on our first time knitting together. The more we do it, the more involved and more intricate charts we'll learn and do. I'm learning right along with you. All right, so for instance, real quick, anytime you're going to work out of someone's book, whether it's a pattern book or stitch book, the first thing you need to familiarize yourself with, knitting has its own language. Most of the stitches are universal, whether they're written or in symbols. But sometimes, just like everything in life, just like I'm putting my own twist on my little sweaters, each designer will maybe add something or their version of something that may be a little different, maybe outside of the norm of what you may that you're used to. But anyway, the symbols, for instance, right here, like I said, this is the chart. That's everything contained in the chart. And as you look, you can see some numbers on this side of the chart. These numbers represent the front or the right side of the work. So every number on this side represents a right side row. Now, some charts will go ahead if you have to do work or stitches on the wrong side, then that number will be on this side of the chart. So I'd have row 1 the right side, then there will be a number 2, row 2 on that side, and then row 3 on the right side, back and forth. But since this chart is just purl across, then they just leave those numbers off. They just tell you, the wrong side rows purl. And that just saves, time from writing all the numbers. On charts, something else, like I said, we're not going to try to tell you everything. I'm just getting you enough, we're just getting started in sharing. On the right side of the chart, these are little graph blocks on these little squares. On the right side, an empty block, just like this, represents a knit stitch. But on the wrong side, it represents the opposite stitch. Even though it's the same empty block, on the wrong side, it represents a purl stitch. See? But, like I said, knitting has a language. For those that are new, don't worry, you will get it. All right, let's see if anything. Oh, so now, like I said, some of the symbols, let's just look at a couple of the symbols before we get started, and then we'll start knitting. But for instance, if I isolate this row here, you see there's this symbol right here that has a line going straight across, leaning to the right. That's a universal symbol for knit 2 stitches together. Then the symbol next to it is like a circle, okay? That's yarn over. Then we have an empty block, and it's on the right side because there's a number over here. So that means simply knit that stitch. Then there's another circle, so that means another yarn over. And knit 2 together is a decrease. So usually you'll have a yarn over either before or after the knit 2 together. Because if you decrease, then you got to add 1 back to balance things. Does that make sense? So on this side, I have a yarn over, so I've added a stitch. That's what a yarn over does. So I need to decrease 1. And so on this side, it kind of stopped me for a minute because I didn't recognize that symbol. It's not like I normally see it. Normally you see one line leaning to the left. You see it leaning to the left, but she has a line underneath. So that meant I had to go to her key, not just any key. I had to look in her book to see what she was saying, or go to the written pattern. And this is her way of doing a slip, slip, knit, which is a decrease. The yarn over is an increase, then it's followed by a decrease. So that was unusual and new to me. And at first I thought, oh, that's strange. But after working the chart, I love it. I instantly could recognize that was where the slip, slip, knit was. Sometimes the knit two together and the slip, slip, knit, the symbols are so similar. Sometimes you can stop for a minute and like, oh my gosh, I'm confused. But there's no confusion here. She has her own symbol, or this is the one she decided to use. And so I'll show you that when we get to it. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, and then of course here's another symbol that you need to go and check, because you can write this symbol in different ways. Here's a line at the top that leans to the left, and then there are two little short lines underneath. All right, I went to her key, and it represents slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over. All of that in that one little symbol. So now we know what that is. Those are the only two that I think, that I wanted to just let you know the meaning, that, what they represent. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so now we can get ready to start knitting. But I want to give you some FYI information just for fun. When I was designing my sweater, and I went back the second time, and I decided, I said, oh, I think I want to put a little something on the border. Have a little border, maybe. Because the first one was just looked so plain. And I don't know. I just wanted to add more. I want to get as much out of this chart as possible. So now I needed a border stitch. Now I could have gone to other books and tried to look up some different little borders out of other stitch books. But what a chart does, since you can see what we're knitting, you can actually see each stitch as we knit them, not just words, but you see how they look. I simply went on row 1 and row 3. I'm going to isolate those 2 rows, and if I knit those rows, row 1, then row 2 purl back, then row 3, then back to row 1, row 2 to purl back, and back to row 3. This is what those 2 rows will give me, this pretty little lace on the edge. And I didn't have to pull out another book. I didn't have to go anywhere to look for it, or online or anything. It's already, I just isolated the stitch combination of those 2 rows. Now I could have gone up here and found some other combinations and isolated those. But since this was at the very beginning, I thought, well, I'll just go with that. So I have, let's see, I isolated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stitches. And with the 3 that I use for the border, remember there's 3 stitches that we knit on every row, and the 9, that represents the first 12 stitches of our sweater edge. This is just some FYI information for you to get the most from a chart. Now, isn't that nice? There it is, and I didn't have to go look through a lot of books to find it. It's already in the chart. All right, so now the next thing is, let me show you how we will read it and how we will work starting at row 1. Hold on just a minute. All right, let's get started knitting. We're going to start with row 1, of course, and it's the right side, and I'm going to be working my little sample. Now, we've already set in all the markers, so everyone should be ready to go. All right, we started with the first 3 stitches represents our little border. So, everywhere, we knit 1, 2, and 3. Just a little garter stitch border. Now, we're going to go to row 1 and do this little lace front edge right here. It's 9 stitches that I've isolated, that I've highlighted here. Just a highlighted section. We're not starting over here. We're working just this little lace. I'm going to, it says knit 2. There's 2 empty boxes, so knit 2 empty squares. Then there's knit 2 stitches together. Then there's a yarn over, knit 1, yarn over. Now there's her slip, slip, stitch symbol. Slip, slip, stitches. Then there should be 2 stitches left. Knit 1 and 2. That is just a simple little lace section right here that we'll repeat all the way up the front edge of our sweater from the same chart that we're going to do the diamond. Now the next thing, once I come to the first marker, I slide the marker and I knit the next 5 stitches, every one everywhere. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the next marker represents our 17 stitch panel, and the whole panel is not one of those designs where it will grow and then come back down and then go up and down. It will remain 17 stitches all the way up to the very end. So it helps, that's a really help, to make sure that your stitch count stays the same. Now we start from where row 1 starts, right here. Here's the first square of row 1. It says, this is the right side, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to knit 6 stitches. So 1, 2, that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'll just double check, 2, 4, 6. All right, then there is the knit 2 stitches together symbol, yarn over, and then knit 1. So knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and knit 1. Then there is another yarn over, then the slip, slip, knit symbol. So after I do the knit 1, I need to yarn over, then slip, slip, oops, slip, slip, and then go back, reach back, and then knit those 2 stitches together. And to end the row, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 empty squares that I need to knit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And as I said, it should be 17 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 1 is 17. So now I slide the marker, and guess what? I have to knit those 5 extra stitches that are just there for separation. They're just filler stitches. I knit over to the next marker. We're still on row 1. So row 1 reads, and this is just the lace. It's these that I have highlighted, but we are on row 1. So I have knit 2. You can see there's 2 squares there. Knit 2. So I knit 2. Then I knit 2 stitches together. Then there's a yarn over. Then I knit 1 square. Then yarn over. Now I'm going to slip, slip, knit. There's 2 squares left in the highlighted area, 1, 2. So I knit those. That belongs to the lace. And then I'm left with my 3-stitch border right there. So I knit those on every row, 1, 2, and 3. You have just completed row 1 with the extra lace on the edge, row 1 of the diamond, and then the lace on this edge. All right, now, when you turn the work, of course, the reason I chose this particular stitch, because it's very easy. When we turn the work, the pattern says to just purl all the way back. Except for us, we have to remember to knit the first 3 and last 3 stitches to form that little border. So I simply knit 1, 2, 3, then yarn in front. Now I'm going to purl all the way across all my stitches, being careful not to lose my yarn overs. There's just so many yarn overs in this on this chart. We're just getting started though. So I'll just purl a few past this first marker. Okay, so you will continue around all the way and then knit the last 3 stitches. I will see you and we will be ready to work row 3. Back in just a minute. Okay, you know something I didn't say, and maybe I should say it before we go any further. If you don't feel like, oh Jay, I want to so bad, but I'm just okay, then leave off the first lace section here. You can simply just knit those 3 on every row and then knit across without putting the lace. Then knit the 5. I would keep the markers in place just so that you'll know where you are, and work the diamond with us. And then do the same when you get to this side. Just knit that section, knit across these stitches, and then of course knit the last 3 stitches on every row. You will just have stockinette stitches in here, but you will have at least a diamond. So I didn't want to, you know, I better say that just to, we want to include everyone. If you're a little nervous about it, relax. It's just yarn, people. So this is just our practice. That's why I use this just plain yarn. We're just practicing. That's what knitting is. Practice, practice, practice. So if you don't think you can keep up with 2, that's too, a little too much, then just work the diamond section, the section in here. All of this just knit. Just make sure you keep the 3 edge stitches even on the back side you knit. Does that make sense? Alright, so now I am up to row 3. Row 3, first we have to start with our little 3-stitch border. There we go. I was letting my heat, giving it time to go off, stop blowing. Alright, so there's my 3 stitches right there. Knit on every row. Now, on the first lace section, okay, row 3, the right side, I don't start here. I go to the highlighted section, and I see there's only 1 square, empty square. So I'm going to knit 1. Then I have the knit 2 stitches together symbol. Then I have a yarn over. So let's do that. So I knit 1. Then I knit 2 stitches together. Then a yarn over. After the yarn over, look, I have 3 empty squares. 1, 2, 3. Then a yarn over, then a slip, slip, knit. So after I finish, I have that yarn over, I'm going to knit 3 stitches because there's 3 empty squares. So 1, 2, and 3. Then the last yarn over, go over the needle, and then I have a slip, slip, knit. Slip, slip, reach back and knit, put your needle in, and knit the stitches, just like that. And in the highlight area, there's 1 stitch left, so I knit that stitch. I'm done with the lace. So, I slide the marker and I knit the next 5 stitches. Just like this. Now, make sure I get all 5. Alright, now I am up to the panel, the diamond. I slide the marker. Now let's look at it. This is row 3, the complete row 3, not just the highlight area. On row 3, the right side, I can count 1. It says knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It says knit 5, then knit 2 together, yarn over. So let's do that. This is the diamond now. Knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over. And then there's a knit 3. See, there's 3 empty squares. 1, 2, 3 after the yarn over. So there's the yarn over right there. Now knit 1, 2, 3. Then there's a yarn over, the second yarn over. Then there's a slip, slip, knit. Slip, slip, knit. Okay, and if you look to end out the row, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have 5 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I knit those 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whew, take a breath. Breathe. Get some yarn. Alright, so now I'm up to, I can slide the marker, I can knit those 5 filler stitches. They just fill in and just kind of give some separation. I slide the last marker. Alright, we're back to, there's only 2 rows, so we're back to row 3 of this extra lace. This is for my more seasoned knitters, just to give you something extra. As I should have said before we even started, but I did put it in. If you feel like, okay, Jay, I don't think I can do both of those. It's okay. You would just knit those stitches. You won't have to do it. But for my seasoned knitters, I wanted to give you something to challenge you. All right, so let's go. Look at the chart. There's one empty square, so I knit 1, then I knit 2 stitches together, then yarn over, then there's 3 squares that are empty, 1, 2, 3, then a yarn over, then slip, slip, knit, and then knit 1. Not 5. 5 belongs to the row 3. We're just doing the highlighted area on each end. So there's 1 stitch right here that I've got highlighted with the yellow. So I knit that 1 stitch, and guess what? There's only 3 stitches left, and that's the border. So I knit those on every row. 1, 2, 3. You have just worked row 3 of the diamond and the extra lace. Look at that. See, it starts to form. Now, of course, when you turn the work, you will knit the borders and purl all the stitches across. Now, when we come back, I'm going to slide this up, we will be ready to work. Maybe I just start sliding just one at a time. We will be ready to work row 5, but we will go back to row 1 and row 3 as we need to for the edge. So first of all, let's go ahead and do the purling on row, that would be row 4, and I will see you back at row 5. It's just a little bit, have to get used to keeping track of what row you're on. That's why I got my little magnet ruler, just to help me to know where I am. All right, take care not to lose any yarn overs. Back in just a minute. So now, now we're going to start settling in. Just settle down. I was excited, and you're excited, and we're like, okay, Jay, oh my goodness, oh, okay. Now, you know, some people may just laugh, but I get excited when I'm knitting with friends, and you know, I want you to succeed so much. You know, like I say, I'm not a professional knitter, but the things that I do know and that I want to share, and the things you want me to share, I want you to get it. Like I say, it's just yarn, people. It's just yarn. All right, I am ready to work row 5 of the diamond. Here's row 5 here. See that? But before I can work row 5, I always have to do these. I go back and work row 1 on both sides, purl back, and then we'll take care of the next row. But let's just take it one row at a time. So I knit the first 3. We're just settling in now. Get your own little, you'll have your own little rhythm. You know, my rhythm may be so different from yours. You might like, okay, Jay, I'm kind of, okay. You'll get your own rhythm. All right, so now here is, before I can go to row 5, I have to go back to the highlighted area to do those little extra. For those that are doing the extra lace, we got to go right down here to row 1. All right, so I've knit the 3 stitches. Now, what do we have when we look at row 1 in the highlighted area? I have knit 2 together, yarn over. Let's do that much. Knit 2. Oops. 1, 2, knit 2 stitches together. Okay, now yarn over, knit, then there's a knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. So yarn over, knit 1, then yarn over the second time. Now slip, slip, knit, and there should be 2 stitches left. Can you see them? Right there. 1 and 2. Those are the 2 empty boxes there. That ends that front lace. Now let me show you this, just so that you'll know, in case you come back and you think, oh, Jack, I can't remember on the front lace where I am. On the front lace, row 1 will give you 2 yarn overs and 1 stitch in between them. Look at, it's right here on the diamond. I mean, it's right, yes, right there. It's a yarn over and 1 stitch in between, and then a yarn over. And then on row 3, once we get up there, there are 3 stitches. There's a yarn over and 3 stitches. So you can always tell which row you're on by looking at where the yarn overs are. So now I've just worked row 1 of that, we'll call it front lace. We'll call it the front lace. And then this is the diamond, so you'll know what I'm talking about. Now I have to knit those 5 stitches so that I can get to the actual diamond pattern. So now I'm up to the diamond pattern. I slide the marker. This is row 5 of the diamond pattern. Now let me read it. It says, the boxes are empty, so that means knit 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to take it a little at a time. Knit 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just do that. Just to kind of get you going. Now, of course, you're going to have to give me feedback on if you could see this chart. I'm just going by blind faith that we can do this. I couldn't figure out no other way. And if I could do it this way, it saves a lot of work. All right, after I knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, now let's look at it. There's a knit 2 together, yarn over. Do it again. Knit 2 together, yarn over. So let's do that. Knit 2 together, yarn over. Do it again. Knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Then there's a knit 1, So let's just knit that one. There's a yarn over, and then I knit that one. Now the next sequence is yarn over, slip, slip, knit. Yarn over, slip, slip, knit. So I have the one in the center. You can tell there's a center now. You can see a center. So I yarn over. That's the one right here, the second right there. Yarn over. Now slip, slip, knit. Then yarn over again. Then slip, slip, knit. Now, to end the row, I just knit 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I knit the last 4 stitches. Okay, I slide the marker. I am done with the diamond. Now I knit those 5 extra stitches across. And now you got to think to yourself. See, it takes, you're thinking, you use, okay, you slide the mark and you think, okay, now, was I on row 1? This is the edge lace. Now, which row am I on? Pull down your stitches and look. You can see that the last row that you work, the diamonds, there's 3 stitches in between. There's 3 stitches in between those yarn overs. You can see that from the last row. So that means we want to go back to where there's 1 stitch between them. So that means we need to go back to row 1. Row 1 says knit 2, 1, 2. Now knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over, knit 1 right in the center. Set a line up right in the center. Then yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and then knit 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then there's those 3 little edge stitches. If you need to put a marker to separate these 3 little stitches, you are welcome to do so. We have just finished the edge lace there. Can you see it? Isn't that pretty? Then we have worked row 5 of the lace, of the diamond panel. And then we have done the edge lace on this side. Does that make sense? Okay, so now when we turn the work, you will be on row 6. That is simply the purl row. When we come back, we will be ready to work row 7, the right side. So, take your time. The main thing is don't drop your yarn overs. Back in just a minute. Now I'm ready to start to knit row 7 of our diamond pattern. So, let me get my yarn here, get everything straight. Row 7, first of all, though, before I can get to the diamond, I've got to take care of those that are doing the front lace. I have to knit my 3 stitches. If I've been away for a minute and I need to check and see which row I'm on, see if there's 3 stitches between the yarn overs or if there's just 1. There's just 1, so I know that I need to be on row 3. See, I can see. So, row 3, right here, the highlighted area, it starts with a knit 1. The highlight area only. Knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, now knit 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, then a yarn over, and then slip, slip, knit. And then I end with 1 stitch left, so I knit that 1 stitch. Slide the marker, and I have those 5 extra stitches on my way up on my way across to the diamond pattern. All right, I'm up to that. I slide the marker. Now let's read row 7 off the chart, and then we'll work it. All right, row 7, it says knit 1, 2, 3, because there's 3 empty squares. Knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 2, 1, 2, yarn over. Then here's the first time we're going to do a slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over, yarn over, knit 1, 2, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and you will end the same way as you begin by knitting 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to take you through it one stitch at a time. All right, I'm going to read it as we go. Knit 3, 1, 2, 3. Then there's a knit 2 stitches together. Then there's a yarn over. Knit 2 stitches. 1, 2. Now, here's a sequence. Yarn over, slip 1 stitch, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over. Now, do a yarn over. Then there's knit 2, 1, 2, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and I end row 7 by knitting 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Slide the marker and I knit the 5 stitches. That's 2, 3, that's 4 and 5. All right, now I look ahead to see which row, just to double check, make sure that each side is equal. I see that there's just 1 space between the yarn overs right there. You can, I'll bring mine real close. I can see that there's just 1 space there, 1 stitch. So I know I need to have now move to where I have 3 stitches. So row 3, I knit 1. This is the edge lace or the front lace. Knit 1. Knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, now knit 3, 1, 2, and 3. Then do another yarn over, a slip, slip, knit, and then there's 1 stitch left right at the end, not over here, now right there in the highlight area. 1 stitch left, so there it is right there. So I knit that 1 stitch, and then I have the 3 stitches for my border. And like I said, anytime you feel like, oh, Jack, keep forgetting that, maybe I should put me a marker there, you can. You can put a marker there if you like. Of course, well, let's just take a look first. Look at it moving, look at it going up. There's the front lace. On each end, we're in the same place. Always check. See? Then you have the diamond right in the center. Can you see that? All right. So when you turn the work, you will be on row 8. That's the purl side. And then I will see you back on the right side again at row 9. Take care and don't lose your yarn overs. I think you're getting the idea. Once you find your own rhythm and you can see the pattern, like I said, you're going to have to give me feedback. Can you see these charts? I just had them enlarged so that I could work it this way. I couldn't think of no other way. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it simple, people. But of course, if you have the book, then you can just, you don't have no problem. You can just see you have your own chart. All right, I will see you back at row 9. We are at row 9. And we're going to, of course, start with our front lace section first. This is the same thing you're going to be doing on the sweater, but we're doing it here for practice. I can see that I need, because I can look at my own work and I can see that I have 3 stitches. You can count, you can see the yarn over, you can see the holes. And I have 3 stitches, so I know that I need to go back to row 1 now as I start the front lace. And row 1 of the highlighted area, front lace, says knit 2, there's 2 squares, then knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and then slip, slip, knit. And there should be 2 stitches left, 1, 2. So I knit those 2. There's the front lace on this side. See, it goes up the front. All right, now I need to get over to my diamond panel. So I just knit those 5. All right, now I'm going to read row 9 of our diamond stitch. Row 9, of course the right side, it reads knit 2, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. Now knit 1, 2, 3, then knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and end with knit 2. 1, 2. Let's take it from the top. Slow and steady. Make sure I get me some yarn before I even start. Oh my. All right, we're really building now, aren't we? All right. It says, it starts with knit 2, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over again, then you're going to slip, slip, knit, and then there are 3 stitches. You're going to knit 1, 2, and 3, then knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over again, then slip, slip, knit, and to end row 9, you should have 2 stitches left. Knit the last 2 stitches. Now how easy was that? Slide the marker and knit 5. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, I'm up to my front lace on this side. I know I can see that I have the 3 stitches, so I need to go to where I have just 1, and that will be row 1. Row 1 of the highlighted lace says knit 2, 1, 2. Then knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over again, then slip, slip, knit, and end this section with knit 2 stitches, and then of course the last 3 are the border stitches. I knit on every row. 1, 2, 3. Oh, think you're moving now. What do you think? Look at that. There's the front lace. You feel it? You see it? Here is the diamond panel lace. And here's the other front lace. What do you think? All right, you have just worked row 9 the right side. When you turn the work, it will be row 10. So I will see you back on row 11. So far, so good. It's so different when you actually see the words. See, we're actually seeing the words in symbol. And like I said, once you get your own rhythm, you're not just having to listen to me and watch me, but once we finish this whole diamond and then we go to your sweater, you're just going to repeat these same steps and same rows, same stitches, same symbols on the sweater. Now, how easy is that? All right, I will see you back at row 11. Take care not to lose any yarn overs on your purl side. I thought I'd try to use, I found another little stand, one of the little picture frames, to lift it up a little more as we start going up to higher rows. So when I left you, we are ready to start row 11. Of course, it's the right side. Now, but I have to do my front edge border. By now you should kind of be able to tell what row you're on, so I won't repeat that. I'm just going to knit my 3 stitches. Okay, I know that I need to go to row 3 for me. So it says knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and knit 1. Okay, now move to over as I get close to my diamond panel. All right, we are at row 11, and I'll read it for you. Row 11 reads, knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, 2, 3, then yarn over again, slip, slip, knit, knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, 2, 3, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and end with knit 1. That's row 11. So now let me walk you step or stitch by stitch. All right, here we go. Knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. All right, now knit 1 stitch, then knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, 2, 3, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and end with a knit 1. So slide the marker, I knit on across to my opposite front border, and I know that I am on row 3 So I knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, now knit 1, 2, 3, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, don't forget to knit it, I almost forgot there, and then knit 1, and then of course knit my 3 stitch border. Alright, we're moving right along, aren't we? I'm surprised. There's the stitch, there are the borders. So now I'll come back and I'll mainly continue to work the diamond panel so that we can, because we have quite a few rows. So let's continue. Now, when you turn the work, you're on row 10. That is the purl side. I will see you back. Let's see. Oh my gosh. We're at row 13. So I will see you back. I'll go ahead and put my marker, my magnetic ruler right there. Like I said, this is one of those little metal stands that a lot of cross stitchers use, I think. I bought it for some reason. I had to have it for something. I forgot I had it, people, and I remembered. I run across, I thought, that's perfect. Okay, see you back shortly. All right. So, I think when I left, I said row 10, but we just finished working the right side of row 11. Row 12 was the wrong side, so we are up to row 13. This is the middle of the diamond going across, and I believe this is a row where I missed the yarn over. So, I thought, well, when I get back to this row, I will simply show you how, in case you drop a yarn over, just to kind of double check. Just don't panic. Alright, so now I've already done my lace. I'm going to start just going ahead and doing my lace now, so that we can work mainly on the diamond. We're trying to get up because you have to take all this information and all that we're working, and we'll, of course, have to go to our sweater. Alright, so I'm working over to the 17 stitches that I have for the panel. Alright, this is row 13. Let me read it and then we'll work across. Row 13 starts right out with knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 2, 1, 2, yarn over. Then we have this stitch that this is first time doing it. We're going to slip 1 stitch, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over, right here. Then there's a yarn over after that, then knit 2 stitches, 1, 2, then yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 1 stitch, yarn over, and then slip, slip, knit to end row 13. And let's see if I got this pulled up enough so that you can see it. Alright, I'm going to take you stitch by stitch. Alright, here we go. It starts right out of the bat with knit 2 stitches together. So I do that. Then I yarn over, I knit 1, knit 2 stitches together again, yarn over, now knit 2 stitches, 1, 2, then I yarn over. Now I'm going to do a slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over and off. Now I need to yarn over again, knit 2 stitches, 1, 2, yarn over, then do a slip, slip, knit. Okay, knit 1. And after the knit 1, I yarn over and I end the row. There's 2 stitches left, so I do a slip, slip, knit. I'm just going to slide my mark and knit 1 stitch to hold everything in place. Now, like I said, I believe this was a row. And what first thing you do, don't panic. Go back and count the yarn overs that you should have. I should have for row 13, and you should have just the yarn overs now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I remember counting after I was off camera, because I knew it probably was a yarn over. I only had 5. So on your work, of course we came out right, but just say if you came out like, uh-oh, I did something. Before you do anything, go back and start and just count the yarn overs. There's 1. You can tell the yarn overs because they go kind of diagonal across the cable. Okay, so there's 1. Then here's 2. Look for them. There's 3. There's 4. And I was missing this one right here. That would be 5, and then there's 6. 5 and 6. So that's an easy way. And then what you can do is simply, if you haven't gone far enough, you can just knit back or tink back and then just lift up a strand to put a yarn over in the right place. Okay? If you have gone too far and you have to try to catch it on the next row, you can still lift up a strand to put so that you'll have an extra yarn over there. But it's best if you see that you came out to go ahead and tink back just a few stitches and lift that stitch up and put the yarn over on. Does that make sense? So right off the bat, if you come out wrong, stop and check your yarn overs. That's all you need to do. Now we're going to continue to knit across the row and do your edge lace, and then that will take care of row 13. And yes, it's the midnight hour. So look, I'm gonna get ready to go to bed. So I will stop it here, but we will continue tomorrow so that I get all the rows on this one tape. So after row 13, of course, the wrong side is row 14. I will see you back. Of course, you won't, you'll think it's just the next minute or so. I will see you back, and we will be ready to work row 15. You may as well just pat yourself on the back. If you're still hanging in here with me, job well done. You're doing great. I told you it was going to be a lot of fun because you can see what you're actually knitting. But you do have to pay attention because we're looking at all these little squares and boxes and symbols and things. And sometimes, you can overdo it and just like, oh man, things are running together. So that's why I'm gonna stop tonight. I'm hitting hitting it out the park. I don't want to mess up now. So I will see you shortly, and we will start row 15. Take care. And I'll see you in just a bit. Well, I am back. I had a nice good night rest. I hope you had the same. So I thought I'd better get over here before it got too late. It was a little cold today, so I have my little heater on, so I'm going to try to speak up to keep my feet warm. Keep the air circulating on my feet. But when we left, we had just finished row 13 of our chart. So, what do you think so far? Let me just check and make sure I am on, that you can see. Okay. So now we're going to actually start, and we're going to knit row 15. Row 15, I'm going to read it for you. Now I'm just, well, let me go, well, all right, now of course you know I just need to remind you of the highlight section. The highlight section down here are the two front lace borders. And I've already worked them with you over and over, so I'm just going to skip on to our diamond panel so that we can get all the way, because we have 28 rows. Okay, so here we go. Row 15. It starts with a knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 1, 2, 3, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, then there's a slip, slip, knit, then you knit 1, 2, 3, then knit 2 stitches together, do a yarn over, and end with a knit 1. Whew. Lots of little squares there. But we'll take them one at a time. Alright, row 15 again. Excuse me. Knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. You have knit 3 stitches after that, so that's 1, 2, and 3. Then knit 2 stitches together. Just knit 2 stitches together, just like that. Now do a yarn over, then knit 1, yarn over again. This time we do a slip, slip, knit. Then we knit 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. We knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and the last stitch we knit. So there is the lace panel right there. Starting to look really nice, isn't it? Okay, so now I slide my marker. Of course, you will slide your marker and continue across, and don't forget to do your lace on this side of our practice piece, because when we go to the sweater, this is exactly how you will be working the sweater. So this is just practice to get so that when you go to the sweater, you're not lost or just completely like, oh, okay. You will know exactly what to do. All right, so now when we turn the work, that will be row 16. I will see you back on the right side again, and that will be row 17. All right, take care not to lose your yarn overs. All right, so row 17, I just knit across and worked my front lace border on this side. So now I'm up to the diamond pattern, and row 17. Row 17 reads, knit 2, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, then knit 1, 2, 3, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and end with knit 2. 1, 2. All right. I think you're getting a feel for it now. By now you should have a little rhythm, like you say. But you're going to have a lot of practice when you get to the sweater, because we're going to work it all the way up the front. All right, so here we go. Knit 2, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. Then you knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, now knit 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, yarn over again, slip, slip, knit, then knit 1 stitch, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and end the row, well, in this section with knit 2. 1, 2. The last 2 stitches. Slide the marker. Of course, continue to work across and do the lace, the front edge lace on this side of the work. Alright, and then of course when you turn to the wrong side, you will be on row 18, the wrong side, and I will see you back at row 19. We are making great progress. I hope I'll double check and make sure that you can see. Okay. Alright, watch the yarn overs. Back in just a minute. Alright, so we are at row 19 of the diamond panel. Again, this chart is out of the book, the Knitting All Around Stitch Dictionary by Wendy Bernard. And I have really enjoyed knitting this, and I hope that you are doing the same. Row 19, let's read it. It starts out with knit 3, 1, 2, 3. Then yarn over. Now here we have the symbol for slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over. Then you will yarn over again, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, yarn over. Again, here is slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass a slip stitch over, yarn over, and knit 1, 2, 3 to end the row. So let's just work that across together. I'll make sure I have enough yarn before I start. I don't want to get tangled before I even get started. Okay, again, row 19, knit 3, 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over. Then there's a slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over. Okay, now yarn over again. Then knit 2 stitches together. And then another yarn over. Now knit 1 stitch, and it should line up with the center stitch. Knit 1 stitch, and watch, yarn over again, slip, slip, knit, yarn over. Now the repeat of slip 1 stitch, knit 2 stitches together. Can't say stitches tonight. Keep getting stuck. Knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over and off, yarn over, and there should be 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. Knit the last 3 stitches. Just like that. Slide the marker and you're on your way to our front edge lace on this side. And remember, if you get lost, you can always look at the center stitch. If you only see 1 center stitch right there, then you know that you need to go to row 3. So when you work row 3, you will have 3 stitches. And then back down to 1 and back up to 3, just like that. Alright, now of course See, we can move right along now because you're getting the hang of it. I just got to, when this is over, see how the feedback of, can you see the chart? All right, we just finished 19, so the wrong side is 20. So when we come back, guess what? We will be on row 21. Row 21, so take your time and make sure you get your edge lace, the correct rows. You're only working with 2. They're down here. They're highlighted, the 2 rows. And then watch your yarn overs when you do the purl on the diamond pattern. All right, back in just a minute. We are at row 21. Couple more rows to go. All right, let's do row 21. It reads, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, slip, slip knit, knit 1, yarn over, then we have the slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over, right there in the center, see it? All right, then yarn over, knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and end the row with knit 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now see, of course you notice that now this is the top part of the diamond that's closing in so that we go up to a point at the top. So that's why the rows are getting, there's not as much work on the row. All right, so let me slide my marker of and start on row 21, knit 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to knit 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then there's a yarn over, slip, slip knit, knit 1, yarn over. Now I have the slip 1 stitch, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over and off. Now I need to do another yarn over, and then knit 1, then knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and knit the last 4 stitches. See, now it's getting a little faster because we're having to do less work. Knit the last 4 stitches, slide the marker, and you're off to the lace on this opposite edge. All right. Look at that. You can really see if you kind of hold it up to the light. Isn't that pretty? All right, so now off camera you will be doing row 22, which is the wrong side. I will see you back at row 23. Good job. Almost to the top of our diamond. We are on row 23. So now let me read it. All right, row 23 reads knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, slip, slip knit, then knit 1, 2, 3, then knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and end with a knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, quick and easy. All right, so we start with knit 5, 1, 2, that's 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, slip, slip, knit. Now knit 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Knit the next 2 stitches together. just like that. Then yarn over, and you should end with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit the last 5 stitches. Alright, slide the marker and you're on your way to your front lace. And there you have that. Now you can really see that we're getting close to the top of our diamond. Of course, once it's kind of steamed and you stretch out the lace, can you see it against the light? And then, of course, you have your beautiful edging on each side. Alright, so now all you have to do is do row 24, which is the wrong side. You're doing great, not losing any yarn overs. Just take your time. We're almost to the end, and I will see you back at row 25. Back in just a minute. Alright, we are at row 25. Row 25 reads knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, slip, slip knit, knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, then yarn over, and then knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to end the row. How sweet is that? Wow. Alright, let's go. Knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over, slip, slip knit, knit 1, and that'll be right in the center. Then knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and there should be 6 stitches left. 2, 4, 6. Knit the last 6 stitches. Just like that. Slide the marker and you're on your way to the front edge lace. If I didn't have to do the back, I'd just keep going, but I want to make sure I have battery so that I can get the last row or so in. There is, you can see how it's looking now behind the, isn't that pretty? Alright, so row 26, of course, is the wrong side. I will see you back at the last pattern row, row 27. Well, here we are at the last pattern row of the chart, of this diamond chart. And I'm telling you, I hope you like what your hands have made, and that you're happy that you gave it a chance. Alright, row 27, the last pattern row. Let's read. It reads knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then a yarn over, and then right in the center we have the slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over right there, then yarn over, then knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to finish the row. Whew. So let's just go ahead. If you made it this far, kudos to you. Alright, so it says knit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, then there's a yarn over. You're going to slip 1 stitch, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the one you slipped over and off the needle, then yarn over, and guess what? Knit 7. Let's just see if I have it. 2, 4, 6, and 1 is 7. So knit the last 7 stitches. Just like that. And slide the marker, and you're on your way to the front edge lace. Alright, I'll just stop right here. Let me just kind of hold it up so you can see how it looks on this little sample. Of course, when it's steamed out a little bit, it will open up. And then, of course, I have my 2 edges just like that. Alright, so now, of course, you have to, in order to complete the whole panel, you need to knit, to purl back for row 28. It's 1 through 28. And then from that point, that's right, you're going to go right back down to the bottom and start at row 1 again. But let me just say this, because I know that everyone has a different skill level or skill set. Everyone has a different mindset. Not everyone, you know, I can hear you thinking right now, okay, Jay, I'm happy with that 1 diamond. Can I just stop? Yes, you can. If you just want to, if you've made it this far and you go, oh, Jay, I enjoyed it, but I don't know if I can go all the way up. Can I stop with this 1 diamond? Yes, you can stop. That's why I didn't put it right at the bottom. I left it up so that it would be like a design feature, like a little motif there. So you can stop with this 1 diamond, but would you at least continue the lace on each edge? This is what's going to be pretty on your sweater. The lace going right up the front of each side of your sweater. And then the one, if you just have 1 diamond, you know, and you want to stop, you can stop. Some people might want to do 2 diamonds. Some, all right, so I try to give you options because, like I said, everybody has their own mindset and their own skill level. But just the fact that you trusted me and that you're willing to give this a try, I'd like to give you some options. It will still turn out just as pretty. All right, now real quick, so that we can end this part of our knit along. So now I think I'm done with this, so I think I can just go ahead and move it out of the way. Now I've got to see how that worked. My old school, a picture frame and my magnetic board. All right, so now we're up to, now you're simply going to do what we just did on the practice, unless you were, advanced knitting and you were knitting your sweater, because you have a lot of stitches. You're going to do the exact same thing. The only difference, you'll just be knitting across this big expanse of fabric, the back. You'll just knit across, and do exactly the same thing. And you'll be working 2 diamonds. Does that make sense? That's why I'm giving you options for people that just says, well, I'm not quite ready yet, but I'm in here all the way. I'm in. So you need to continue with the front edge lace on both sides so that your sweater will have this pretty lace. And you, like I say, you can have 1 diamond or you might want 2. But the next thing that we need to do for those who are, more seasoned or who's going further with me, you're to just go back down now to row 1. You start the diamond, you keep the lace going on each edge, and you just go up, up, and just keep knitting. The next important number that you need to know is how many inches from the bottom of your sweater to your underarm. I normally do, but I'm short, I normally do 10 to 11 inches. So I'm figuring this probably will go about 11 inches. So when I see myself getting towards getting close to however many inches, this is what I want you to do. When you see yourself getting close to however many inches you think you know, depending on your height, the length from your waist to your underarm space, or where your sleeve is going to start, somewhere along the line, I want you to stop and count each front section of your sweater. Let me start on this side so you can, now let me just see if I'm on camera. I guess I should have tested that first. Yes, I am. All right, so you would start here on the edge. For me, I have 40 by my working formula. I need 48 stitches for each front. So I'm going to count just somewhere along the line, maybe before you start row 1. Before you start again, you got 1 diamond finish. All right, we need to go ahead maybe and go ahead and put in a marker for each front. So I need 48 stitches. So you start here and you count, 2, 4, 6, and you count to however many on your working formula that you need, and put in a nice bright marker. I'd probably use a white one. I'm going to use a white one on this, I think. You'd put a pretty marker there. That would designate the front from the back on right here, and where the sleeve or where the side seam. Does that make sense? Then you knit across the back, That's after, you're starting row 1 again of the diamond, and you're going to count. And then while you're knitting across this part, you'll count your stitches for each front. 48 for me. I'd put my marker, continue to knit. When I get over here, I'd stop. Remember, I said don't start counting anything from this side. Always go to your edge, because the edge is correct. And then I'd count back 2, 4, 6, and I need 48. Count it more than once. Make sure, that like I had that little mistake. And then put a mark here. You don't have to count the back. Don't have to worry about it. Just make sure that your front, your left front, your right front have the same amount of stitches. And then continue to work across, work row 1 of the diamond again, then work whatever row 1 or whatever you're on for this lace. Turn the work, purl back. You have your fronts marked now, and then continue to work. Like I said, I will probably go till it's about 11 inches. When you get to that number, everyone, on the chart. Now I got to get right here in front of the camera. All right, on the chart, when you get to whatever number in whatever row that's going to work out for you to meet the number of inches you need to get your underarm. Say if I think mine worked out to be, on the other sweater, was like, I made it to row 15. Made it to row 15, I measured, and I said, oh, okay, I'm close enough to my 11 inches so that I can get ready to separate my front and my 2 fronts and my back. So what you want to do is complete that row, go all the way across, whatever row it is. Maybe you're taller, and maybe your number or inches stopped at row 19. You'd work row 19, go all the way across, working everything like you should, staying in pattern, the whole sweater, and stop. That's where I want to meet you back. Don't turn the work yet. I want to come back, and this is when we're going to separate the sweater into 3 different parts. This is when you will use your extra needles, whether they're shorter circular needles or if they're straight needles. Whatever you have has to be number 9. It has to be the same size that you used that we've been using. Whatever needle you use, you need to use the same size. Then I will meet you there, and then I will show you how to separate your sweaters and keep in pattern. Does that make sense? So all you have to do now is just keep working. Everyone, everywhere, everybody has your own speed. Life, it's a tutorial. It's a knit along. You don't have to be in a race because one person's fast and says, okay, Jay, I'm ready for the next thing. Okay. And then you may be down here, just trying to, see how much you can get done. It will be on the YouTube, on my channel. So this is why I think that this is just going to be such a help, because I'm breaking it down. I'm not in a race. I'm taking my time. I'm showing you step by step, stitch by stitch, because I want you to get the full benefit and the full know-how. You're knitting your sweater and designing it from scratch. And if you only want one diamond, then look, diamonds are a girl's best friend. You go for it. I just threw that in there. And guess what? I finished tonight before 12 o'clock. It's only like, I can't see my clock, maybe about 10:30 or almost 11. Kudos to me. All right, so, and kudos to you. Thank you so much. All right, so now I will meet you back. You've got a lot of work to do. So have I, because this is the sample. I got to keep knitting. I got to knit my 11 inches. All right, so I will see you back. Play this over and over as much as you need to. Take your time and take care not to lose your yarn overs. All right, I'm losing my voice, so I will see you later. Have fun knitting. It's a journey. It's just yarn, people. So enjoy the journey. See you later.